Hey guys, welcome back. So if you follow us on Facebook, you'll know that we were talking about shooting a relatively rare AK. And when I say we, I mean me and my buddy Chase from Definitive Arms. We did a Facebook Live broadcast. We showed some different rifles, and one of the rifles we showed was in this box. This is a brand new, unfired Norinco 84S. This is the same one we showed in video. And what we're going to do today is really agitate the collectors. Now, I will say that I bought this rifle. I found it and I bought it out of the collection, and then after I way overpaid for it, the gentleman that sold it to me said, "Hey, do you want 3 more?" And I said, "Yeah, I do." So we actually have 3 more of them at Copper Custom in this condition. I'm keeping this one for myself, and like I always tell you guys, I will not own a gun I won't shoot. To prove that point to myself and the rest of the world, we're going to take this 84S out of the box and we're going to show you that whole process. Then we're going to put some rounds through it and tell you what we think of the rifle. Stay tuned, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. And this is my friend Chase. How's it going, man?
Not bad.
All right, guys, so here's what we're gonna do. We've already talked a little bit about this gun on Facebook Live. We'll kind of go over the history of the gun here real quick for you. First of all, this is a Chinese import that was banned. Who was the president that actually banned the Chinese import? Was it Bush 41?
I believe it was Clinton. Was
it Clinton that stopped him? One of the two. I can't keep track of all the bans. But we had all the Chinese import AKs, rifles, anything but shotguns. Everything was banned except shotguns. And this rifle fell under that ban. This rifle is chambered in 5.56 or 223, which makes it a little bit out of the ordinary for the Chinese AKs. So we're going to go ahead and open it up here. And we're just going to kind of go through everything that's in the box. Now, it's kind of cool. The bag would have been sealed. To check them in, when we brought them into the shop, we open up the bag so we can look at the serial numbers. But you'll notice they have these little bags that hang from them. How do you properly pronounce that? Descent? Or
Descant.
Descant. Little Descant bags. And the Chinese put them all over everything. So if you look at this thing, it has these little baggies hanging from everywhere. And the guns are originally blued. Can you tell us a little bit about them, Chase?
I mean, if you look, it's why a lot of people think they're rough around the edges. You know, when you paint or if you abrasive blast and parkerize, it kind of covers up a lot of the tool marks. You see where the original metal would have been put out on, you know, stamping equipment, forming machines. It's got that raw look like steel you pull right off a shelf. And as to where cosmetically they were rough around the edges, utility-wise, they were very smooth guns, and you know, arguably some of the better AKs of their time.
Yeah.
And at that, you know, these little Descant packs really did a good job, because if you look at it for sitting around, there's not really a lick of rust or anything anywhere on it. It looks very good. It
looks brand new, like it just came out of the box in 1980, right?
Right.
So what's kind of neat about these guns is they have a unique look to them. So the Chinese guns have that, they'll have a square back to them like this. You'll notice there's a downward rake to the stock. A lot of the more modern AKMs will have a straighter stock. They do have the cleaning kits in the butt stocks here. We'll go ahead and take that baggie off. So we're already starting to tear her apart here. I don't know if I can just, they're tied in knots. So here we go. We're gonna go ahead and start cutting these off so we can shoot it. All you collectors out there are about to cringe. Oh, there it goes, one down. Let's get this one other off here. It looks like it's just on the cleaning rod. We can probably just take the cleaning rod off. Pry that out of there, and there we go. All right, see, look, I didn't have to cut that one, guys. Look how tiny that thing is.
Yeah, that is small.
It's a small one for a 5.56 caliber bore. I'm so used to the 30 caliber ones. So inside the box we have the rifle, which is now pretty much ready to shoot. I'm gonna go ahead and lay it down here, and I'm gonna show you what we have in the box here. So we also have a cleaning bottle, a little pick of some sort. It's really sharp. I bet it's a pick to clean out the gas port.
Yeah, they're poking out the gas port.
It's a gas port pick. I've seen those before. We have the bayonet that came with it. This one's still sealed in the bag, so we'll leave it in the bag for now. And then this is what really makes the gun worth a lot. So they come with 3 original 5.56 caliber magazines. And Chase, how much are these things worth these days?
Dude, I see those go all over in condition. I mean, some people want, you know, really beat up ones. They're $50, $100. You see people asking crazy amounts of money for them online. They're $150 in mint condition. I mean, people go crazy over those mags.
They do. These things are extremely rare because the guns weren't all that common. So these 5.56 Chinese magazines in the wrapper there, brand spanking new. It's almost like the Valmet magazines. I mean, you'll pay as much for a Valmet magazine as you will a cheap handgun. I mean, if you can find them.
And to the right collector, if money's not an option, they'll pony up $200 a mag. You know, if they're really desperate to get them.
Right.
Know.
Sometimes you'll find the guns, and I've seen them for sale that don't have the mags.
Right.
I don't even know if these things work with other 5.56 magazines, like Bulgarians and stuff.
These mags, kind of like the, you know, Polish have their own spec, Bulgarians have a spec. You know, there's the Israeli Galil mags, and they're all very similar. But with a little bit of work, you can make one work and the other, or vice versa.
I've seen that with the Valmets. Like if you're a Valmet shooter or a collector, you'll buy a Valmet. You can't find a magazine. Again, I've seen those rifles for sale without their mags, and they'll say, "Well, I have a magazine. It's a modified X magazine."
Right.
Like you can get the Bulgarian mags if you file here and cut there.
Right.
But still, the rifle's not worth nearly as much without its original magazine.
Absolutely. So,
what are these things worth? Well, guys, these are worth whatever a collector will pay for them. We're selling them for $26.99 at Copper Custom, the 3 that we have in the box like this. I paid more than that for this one. So when I bought the other 3, I got a better deal on them. I wish I could have bought them all 4, but the guy, he had me on the hook, man. So, but I don't care. I wanted it. I wanted it new in the box. I've always wanted a 5.56 rifle. I've actually had this thing for a while now. But let's go ahead and I'm going to wipe it down a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and load up some magazines, do some shooting. Do you want to shoot it first? You want me to?
It's all you.
Oh, man. I always like letting my friends shoot this stuff first. All right, guys, we're going to break it down here real quick, oil it up, and then we're going to load up some magazines, do some shooting with it. So we're going to go ahead and take the 84S apart here really quick, wipe it down, give it a little bit of lubrication before we actually start shooting it. Going to go ahead and pop the top cover off. You can take a look inside. I mean, it's not very often you actually get to see a brand new, never fired Chinese AK. It's nice and clean. Look at that. That's about as clean as it gets, guys. All the parts are serial numbered on the Chinese guns, so it's pretty cool. I'm just gonna hit it with some of this this LPS stuff. Just give it a little bit of lubrication. And wipe everything off real quick. Just so we don't cause any undue wear on the gun. We're not going to fire it a whole lot today. Just a little bit. Just to stretch your legs a bit. Just like every other AK in terms of assembly and disassembly. But they're really smooth. The Chinese AKs are just really, really nice made guns. They may look a little crude, but I think most AK collectors will tell you that a good Chinese AK is quite a nice rifle. Wipe off that top cover here. Alright. I think she's ready, guys. We have some Freedom munitions here. This is some of their newly manufactured stuff, 55 grain. That we're going to be using. Use this stuff all the time. We'll see how she runs in the AK. These come in 50 round boxes. Nice little holders. Freedom stuff has treated me pretty well over the years. 30 round mags. We'll pop some of these rounds in here for you guys. Head over to the firing line and see just how well this 84S runs. It's like going back in time. Kind of exciting. Chase is over there jumping up and down. I don't think he can barely contain himself. I'm pretty excited. I get a kick out of shooting these things, guys. I mean, it's so cool to think that this gun is so old and I am the first person to ever shoot it. So many times when you buy these old collectibles, you're buying somebody else's rifle, and that somebody may have bought it from somebody before them. They may have had 10 owners by the time you get a hold of them. This one, the guy I bought it from, all the rifles he bought it from, he bought them back when they were being imported and just stuck them in the safe and forgot about them. So I am literally the second owner. That's pretty darn cool. All right, guys, the moment of truth. Here we go. 84S. We have some Freedom munitions. They're newly manufactured stuff. This is the 55 grain 5.56. This is one of the Chinese magazines. It's good old rock and lock. First time it's ever been loaded, except at the factory. We did punch the bore on this thing and gave it a little bit of lubrication. And here we go. Let's see how she shoots. Wow, what a smooth shooting rifle, man. Perfect function, as you would expect from an AK. Got a magazine here, which is a Bulgarian Circle 10 magazine. It's a polymer magazine. Now, Chase checked this thing out, and he tells me that surprisingly, it looks like this magazine may actually work because it fits just underneath the ejector. Very few guns will actually work with a Bulgarian magazine, so we've never tried it. I'm just going to go ahead and rock it in. It fits a little bit tight. Got to kind of wiggle it around, but it locks in. I think it picked up around. Let's see what she does. This would be kind of cool if it works with a Bulgarian magazine. Oh, ooh, that's a nasty malfunction. So it pushed the bullet back into the case. We'll get Chase's opinion on that, but I'm going to go ahead and guess the geometry is just off. We're not going to keep doing that to the gun. You can see what it did. Really push that bullet back. Oh well. Good news is in one of these pockets, I think, or over here, I have another magazine. All right, here we go. Man, that's buttery smooth. How's that compared to an AK-74? It's pretty darn similar. You will notice it has a bird cage flash suppressor on the end. It still has a plunger. You can unscrew that. I'm guessing it's a 14.5x1 left hand. I don't know. I haven't taken it off. But yeah, another cool thing about the Chinese rifles is they have the full hoods. This thing is hot. I just touched it. It has the full hood with a hole in the top so you can adjust your elevation on your front sight post with the toolkit. I wonder if it's in there. Look at that. Toolkit's in the buttstock. So everything you need to adjust your sights would be in that little toolkit. What a neat little gun. I'm gonna go ahead and let Chase shoot it, see what he thinks. I know he's dying to shoot it.
So Tim asked me to take a look at these and what's going on between the original Chinese magazine and the Bulgarian Circle 10 magazine is, though the catch height and the feed lip height are the same, or sorry, the mag lip height, you can see on the front here, the Chinese magazine has raised material and there's a little bit of a polished chamfer edge that acts like an in-place feed ramp to help lift the projectiles and help their start towards the chamber, unlike the Bulgarian magazine that's missing material here. And these are meant for the 106 and a couple other variations of guns, and they have their own proprietary feed ramp that'll come into that negative area and help them feed. Without this material, the round went forward and just crashed underneath the chamber, stuffing the cartridge, and pretty much that's what causes the malfunction. Now, if you guys think it's bad that we've shot this brand new out of the box, you're going to be surprised to hear that I've actually converted one of these to use AR-15 magazines. I've only done one of them. We're not offering them. We're not going to do any more. And these will stay in the exact same condition as you currently see them.
Guys, that round is really pushed down inside that case. That's pretty bad. I'm kind of curious though what'll happen if we fire it out of the gun. Let's go ahead and stick that round in the chamber. It's so beat up it won't even feed from its own magazine. You guys don't think I'm that stupid, do you? Well, it's a little bit warmer this afternoon. I think it's maybe 20 degrees out. That's why I'm wearing a t-shirt. Actually, it's a little bit warmer than that, guys. But we do have some water out there, and just for the safety sallies, we just love to come out and do this because everybody says, you can't shoot across water. Well, guys, I know what's out that way. Nothing but trees and open fields for miles and miles and miles. But I think I hear my neighbor mowing his lawn. There's no neighbor over there, guys. That sounds a whole lot like freedom. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed coming out to the range with me this afternoon and shooting my 84S for the very first time. It's a Norinco 556 AK. I was really happy to have my friend Chase from Definitive Arms join me out here this afternoon to shoot the rifle. I guess you can say I'm the first American to have ever shot this rifle. The last person to have shot it would have been several decades ago, and they would have test fired it in China. So, I don't know, that's just kind of fun for me to think about things in that way. Such a beautiful rifle. It's a shame that they're gone from the market. We do have a couple of them at Copper. We're not listing them on the website. They are collector's grade rifles. If you're interested in one, just give the shop a call. But I probably won't shoot this rifle much anymore. I think at this point, I'll just clean her up and put her away. And I don't know, maybe we'll break her out in 10 years for another video. Who knows? The guns are really nicely made. They're blued, just beautiful to look at. You know, a lot of the guns you see coming out of Bulgaria and stuff will have a painted on finish. These rifles are blued. They have 800 meter sights on them. Probably a little bit optimistic, but maybe not. 5.56 can shoot to 800 meters. If you're shooting at, you know, man-sized target, it could probably pull it off. I don't know, maybe we'll take this thing out to the long range and shoot it for groups one of these days. You just never know. It's always fun to come out and shoot these things. If you guys have any questions, of course, you can ask those questions down below. I do try to stick around for the first couple of days after a video goes live to answer the questions you guys may have. Also, if you haven't, please swing by and check out Copper Custom. If you would like to support us here at the Military Arms channel, it's the best possible way. And also check out full30.com. That's full30.com. We've taken all the web's best firearms content creators and brought them under one roof. That is full30.com. We have version 2.0 up, which also has forums and a blog and all sorts of other fun stuff. So please come by and check us out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all those years of support. And we will talk to you guys soon. I know you guys are probably going to have a bunch of questions about the hearing protection I'm wearing in this video. If you watch the channel, you'll notice that I've been switching around my hearing protection a little bit. My original Tactical Sports, gotten to be 5 or 6 years old. I've drug them all over the world. And I was just kind of ready to buy something new. I did pick up some MSA Sordens, 2 pairs. And both pairs failed me miserably. Within the first week, I sent the first pair back to Amazon.com, got the second pair. Within a month or so, they were dead too because I got just a little bit of a misting rain on them. They went staticky and became utterly worthless. The sound was bad on them. They would chirp when you would take them off and make all sorts of racket. You'll notice these aren't chirping. These do look an awful lot like MSA Sordens, but they're not. They're offered by Safariland. They're made by TCI, and they are called the DEHPs. They are over the head. You'll notice it has a very thin strap, so you can wear them with a bump helmet or something like that. Has a neck band that goes around the back of your head, and they have a very clean audio. They have a similar button setup as the MSA Sordens. Matter of fact, they look an awful lot like the MSA Sordens, but they're claimed to be a higher quality. And so far, based upon what I'm hearing and feeling and getting out of these ears so far, I would agree that these are much better than either of the 2 Sordens I've had before. You can see the neck band around the back. So I'll keep you guys posted on how these ears are performing. They are quite expensive. They're over $400, but you know, you can also use some of the Peltor 100s, which I've been playing with, that has really good audio. They're right around $99 on Amazon. They're a good choice as well. But I really was curious about these because I read a lot about them after I started having problems with my Sordens. So stay tuned for more information on the TCIs.